Hey guys, I'm Keith with the Kannenberg Group, and I want to take just a couple moments of your time today to share something extremely valuable with you, my secret for successful prioritization in life. You see, I learned this many years ago when I was working on my undergraduate degree. I had this professor, his name was David LeGrand, and one day he walked into class and he said something extremely profound. He was talking about people being all stressed out, and he said to us, the problem with you kids is that you guys are all running around with priority lists. And he said, you've got these to-do lists and all this stuff. And he said, kids, to-do lists are really nothing more than guilt inducers. And then he went on to share how prioritizing things in your life often leaves you stuck in some rut because you never get around to the lower priorities of life. And for that reason, you spend your whole life feeling guilty for the things that you never got around to. You see, I spent a lot of years mulling that concept over and started asking myself questions like how in the world could I set priorities without a list? How will I ever get anything done? How do I get out of this rut and get around to all the priorities in life? But that's when it dawned on me. You see, this thought came to me that lists are not going to take me anywhere I need to go. The only thing that'll get me where I need to go is a wheel. You see, I had stumbled upon the secret of prioritization. You see, the priorities of life should never be bullet points on a list. Instead, they should be spokes on a wheel. Now, before you get too excited about that, there's a few facts about a wheel that you need to understand before you can fully appreciate where it's going to take you. First, you have to ask yourself this question. Which spoke is the most important spoke in the wheel? Well, on first thought, you might say, well, they're all equally important. We need all of the spokes in the wheel. The problem with that answer is that it's wrong. You see, right now, there's one spoke on this wheel that's more important than any of the rest of them. Give up? It's the one at the bottom. Why? Why would the one in the bottom be more important than any other one of them? It's because at this point in time, it's the one that's carrying all the weight of the wheel. The others are all necessary, but the one at the bottom is essential at this point in time. Now think about it a second. Which one's the most important now? How about now? How about now? You see, that's right. It's always the one at the bottom that's most important. The most important spoke is always at the bottom, but it's never the same spoke. Just think about that for a second. When one spoke always remains in the most important position, you're not going anywhere. The same's true with your priorities in life. When your first priority takes precedence over everything else, you're stuck. What's even worse is when your priorities all assume they're your number one priority and they're all demanding of you at the same time. I don't know how many of you have felt like that, but I felt like that many times in my life. What the wheel does is it causes you to realize that you're not neglecting anyone or anything in your life, because the sweet thing about a wheel is everything eventually comes back around if you keep making forward progress. You see, that's the key. You have to get the wheel rolling. You see, do you realize how freeing that thought is? No longer do you need to feel guilty when you're doing something you planned while someone or something who thinks they occupy a higher priority in your life makes the case that you're neglecting them. You know? Now you can simply just look them in the eye and let them know that they're important too, and that you're confident you'll soon get around to their needs because they'll soon be your number one priority. You see, that's just one fact about the wheel, though. The next thing you need to know is that there's more elements to a wheel than just spokes. You see, you also have a hub. It's the very thing to which every spoke in the wheel connects. It occupies the center of your life. Now here's the question, the quintessential question. What occupies the center of your life? To what does every priority in your life connect? You see, some might suggest, well, it's got to be me. I've got to take care of myself before I can take care of anybody else. So it's got to be self. I have other people, when they answer this question, they say, well, of course, it's my kids, it's my family, it's my spouse. Those are all great answers, but I would suggest to you this: a self-centered life will never bring you any lasting joy. Or a kid-centered life will only bring you joy until they all grow up and move away and start lives of their own, leaving you behind with a big empty hole in the center of your life. Whatever's in the center of your life is the purpose for living. It's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. You see, now the next thing you need to understand, the next element in the wheel, is where the rubber meets the road. It's where life takes you and how fast you're going to get there. The tire is your timeline. And every point in your life needs to fall under the authority of your time management. Spokes love to remain in the number one spot, but remember, spokes that don't submit to the momentum of the whole wheel bring everything to a screeching halt. You see, you've got to learn to control your priorities and to stop letting your priorities control you. Now, as we wrap this thing up today, I want to end with this. I want to unwrap the secret the rest of the way. You see, your priority wheel is really nothing more than a strategic plan in disguise. You see, it can be a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly schedule when it all unfolds. And what you do is you assign every priority, and this is really important. Make sure you assign every priority in life a start and an end time. And know that what didn't get done today, you'll eventually get back around to later. You guys, now this thing right here, I really believe if you can apply this to your life, it will totally revolutionize you, and it will totally give you freedom and to not feel guilty, and it will totally reduce the stress in your life. I hope to be able to help you guys in the future. If you have any needs, please just contact me. Anything else, if you'd like to learn more about time management or any of the many other services we offer at the Kannenberg Group for corporate training, just feel free to reach out to me. Okay. So guys, I want you to take it easy because life's too short. So don't stress out about it all, because eventually you're going to get around to it. So just keep on rolling. Bye, guys. You take care. Have a great week.